What am I reading? Oh! Hello everybody, I'm Nick, and in this video I'm going to address the biggest problem in the programming related content ecosystem, and that is blogs written usually by companies, not really individuals, in a way that they're going to do great in terms of SEO and rank very highly in Google, but the content itself is either one-sided, very subjective, or grossly outdated and wrong, which ultimately leads to harming people who don't know any better, and they see this thing ranking high on Google, they click it, they read it, and they make their opinion based on that, and their opinion is just grossly wrong. Now, the reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because I was working on another video showing my favorite Java features that C# doesn't have, but I wish it did, and during the research for that video, I was also searching for other differences between the language. And if you search for Java versus C#, most of the blogs you're gonna see are terrible. Now, I haven't read this one. I read all the way up to here, and I know it's gonna be a doozy, so I want to pause and actually film this video. And for reference, I have removed the website, I've removed the person who actually wrote this, I've removed the photo. It is not relevant. What's relevant is the actual content. So let's investigate the content itself in this video and see what we think. If you like that type of content and you wanna see more, make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell, and for more training, check out nickchapsas.com. Now, right off the get-go, you can see the title, Java versus C#, 10 key differences between Java and C#. Now, a bit of a tip for you. If you see a something versus something, usually the blog or the content is in favor of the first thing mentioned. And this is actually the case here. Now, a couple of things I want to mention here. First, this is a very recently updated blog. So this was at the time of recording like 10 days ago. And the person who wrote this, even though I removed the details, is actually an Oracle certified Java professional, which is like a certification for knowing Java from Oracle. Oh, and they also have no experience in .NET and C# that I could find. But I also don't think they're a real person, but I'm not going to open that Pandora's box now. Now, the title is 10 key differences between Java and C#. And just by scanning over the blog, I cannot find where they're talking about the 10 differences between Java and C#. I see a bunch of different things here. So the title is very clickable because it is the n number of things, very clickable type of title. But just from scanning this thing, I can't see where I can find the 10 key differences between the languages. So why is it named like that? Oh, I know, because it's doing great in SEO. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so what is C#? Well, C# is an object-oriented programming language developed by Microsoft that runs on .NET Framework and Core and .NET and a bunch of different... It's not just running on .NET Framework. I'm gonna let that slide, but okay. And then the name C# was inspired by musical notations. Wait a second, isn't that straight from the Wikipedia page? Oh my god, why? Yeah, okay, so the reason why it's really named C# is because it is C++, C++ in a grid, and that grid makes the symbol. That's really the idea, and I think they actually mention it here in the Wikipedia as well. It's basically 4 pluses in a 2x2 grid, whatever. So let's see what I see now is 5 key differences. Java runs on the JRE and C# runs in the CLR. Sure, they're both VM languages running in a runtime. So the difference is that they're running in a different runtime. Java is a class-based object-oriented language where C# is an object-oriented functional strong type. Huh? Java has strong. What? They're the same thing. The same principles you can use in both languages. What? That's not a difference. Java doesn't support for operator overload. Java doesn't have support for operator overloading. C# provides operator overloading. Okay, that is true. So Java doesn't support operator overloading, and they did that to keep the language simple. I think there's talks about potentially adding it, and C# does have it. Okay, I guess that's a difference, but is it like a key difference? I could name a billion other differences, whatever. All right, so there's a Google graph here comparing Java and C# for the past 5 years in the United States in terms of web search. Now, I can tell that C# over here is written as a search term, not as a programming language, while Java has its proper syntax. So the results are not really that accurate, but that's besides the point. What are you trying to prove here? Java is declining in popularity and C# is relatively stable. Like, I don't know what the end goal is. And just for the sake of argument, let's see what it is now. So now I have the same graph as before. So C# as a search term and Java as a programming language. C# being a search term means that it is basically also including the C# chord, which isn't great, but it's not recognized as a programming language. So, they can't all be winners. But what you can see now in 2022 is both of them are relatively stable in terms of popularity. I don't know what this huge drop is every December. Like, probably people being on holiday and not Googling for Java. And then what? C# developers don't take any time off? That is a bit weird. But if I say from 2004 until today, then you can see that Java steadily goes down, while C# always wasn't that relevant. Anyway, I just wanted to see what this was today. And then here we go. A few important characteristics of the C# language. Support for automatic garbage collection. I don't know why you had to say automatic. There is no manual garbage collector. But okay, a bunch of bloat. Integration with Windows. As opposed to all the other language that don't integrate with it. All right, here we go. Java versus C#. I'm ready to learn. So we have C# on the right and Java on the left. Ecosystem. Java has a huge open source ecosystem. True. C# used to develop software. How is that relevant to what? Support for generics. In Java, it is implemented using erasures. Yes, this is one of the worst features Java has. It's erasing the type of the generic in runtime, making it very hard to work with reflection. C# supports it. It's part of the CLI. Checked exceptions only has one type of... Wait a second. That's wrong. No, C# only has one type of exception. Java has checked and unchecked exceptions, where checked exceptions are exceptions that you say that your method throws. So I can say I throw a null reference exception, or I don't know, an HTTP connection exception. And then I can basically make the consumer of this method handle that exception because it will be thrown. Now, it is a terrible feature, but this is wrong. It's the other way around. Polymorphism invokes the virtual keyword. No! C# has the virtual keyword and the override keyword in a derived class, and Java enables it. Well, you use the override annotation, technically. So, did they just mix these two up? Safety type, Java type safety is safe. C# type safety is unsafe. What am I reading? Oh! Support for the go-to statement. Well, that's nothing to be proud of, so I'm gonna skip that. Structure and unions. Java doesn't support structures and unions. Do they mean structs? Yes, we support structs, but we don't support unions, which I'm assuming you mean discriminated unions. That is coming later, maybe in C# 12 or 13 if we're lucky. Suited for concurrency and complex project. It is mainly suited for game development. I'm back. I had to go scream in a pillow. So no, it is not only suitable for game app development. You can build anything. Calm down. I'm getting hot in here. Installation requires JDK to run Java. No, requires JRE to run Java. I thought we established that. The runtime to run the thing. JDK to develop. Development kit. .NET Framework. This is so bad. Cross-platform support. Please don't get this one wrong, but I know you're gonna get it wrong. Java is highly cross-platform with its bytecode. And then C#, compared to Java, C# needs to improve it. What do you mean? C# is cross-platform the same way that Java is. It runs everywhere. Number of public classes. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? In Java, there is only a single public class inside source code, or it will display compilation error. Oh! I guess what they mean is that in Java, they can't have multiple public classes in a single class file, while in C# you can. It's written very poorly. Runtime environment, JVM, CLR. Probably the first thing that I read that is actually correct in this blog. Platform dependency. It's a robust platform independent language. However, C# is Windows specific. Wrong, it's cross-platform. And TIOBE index 1 and 6. I can't remember the last time Java was 1 in the TIOBE index. Let's bring this up. All right, so where we are. So Python is first, obviously. Java was second, it is now third, and then C# is fifth. And C# is growing faster than Java. So maybe it was 1 at the time, but now it's 3, and C# is 5, so you can see that it's actually growing. I really want to stop here, but I'm just going to scan the next sections just in case I find something super obvious. So Java, excellent performance is an advantage of Java. Let's see what is a disadvantage. It's slow. I'm just going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Here's a scroll of my Patreons. Bye.